All right, in this video, I'd like to do an explanation of the insertion sort algorithm. So the insertion sort, again, takes an array, and the goal is to sort it in numerical order. A key thing to the insertion sort is slides and insertions, and we'll see that as we go along. I've got a couple of tools here to help us. This little vertical line here is going to help us separate the sorted part of the array from the unsorted part of the array. And that's going to change as we go along, right, as we sort this thing. At the beginning, we're going to start it here, because if we assume that the array has one element in it, this will be sorted, right? The 6 on its own is sorted. Everything else here we're going to consider unsorted until we check it, right, until we test it. So the first value we're going to test is the first element in the unsorted part of the array. And some variables that we're going to use to help keep track of things is an insert position. So that insert position is going to go right here, right? Position 1. This is the position that the new value will get inserted into, okay, for now. And then the value that we want to actually insert is this 9. So I'm actually going to make a copy of that, and we're going to save that in a variable. Because as you'll see, this 9 could get overwritten if we slide values up. But in this case, yeah, what happens here is this 9 is going to look to the left, right? We're at the insert position. This 9 is saying, hey, do I belong right here? So it looks to the left and it says, hey, this value in the sorted part of the array is smaller than I am. So in this case, I actually belong right here, right? So this thing here is just going to say, guess what? I belong right here. So it's going to insert itself into the insert position. Nothing really changed. Okay, so the next step then would be we're going to move this insert position up 1. We'll visualize now that this is the sorted part of the array and we don't need this anymore. Okay, so this 9 got inserted into its own spot. We now know that, okay, the 6 and the 9 are sorted. So the next value to insert, we can get rid of this one, is I'm going to make a copy of this 2, and we're going to save it in our variable. Insert val saying 2 is the value I need to insert somewhere. And now I'm going to look to the left, right? Look into that sorted part of the array and say, this 9 is bigger than the value we're going to insert, so it should slide up. Right, so I'm going to use a line again to indicate that, and this 9 is going to slide up into this position here. Okay, so let's do that. So this, I got to make sure I don't delete the whole thing. This 2, come on 2, hold on, this 2 gets deleted, and then we slide the 9 up because the 9 overwrites it. And then the insert position goes down 1. Right? It says, oh, this 2 didn't belong here, right? We slid a value up. Maybe I belong over here. So again, we're going to repeat and we're going to look to the left. And we're going to say, hey, what's to the left? Well, the 6 is to the left. Well, it's also larger than the insert value of 2. So we need to slide this value up. Okay, again, we can represent that with an arrow, right? We would slide it up. And then the insert position goes down and says, do I belong here? And it looks to the left and says there's nothing here, so definitely I belong here, right? There's nothing else to compare to. So we can get rid of this now, and we're going to take this 2 and insert it. Okay, so now we know that these 3, right, are in the right order, they're sorted, and the insert position would now go to here. So I need to insert this 3. So again, I'm going to make a copy of the 3 because I need to save that value that I'm going to insert. And then I look to the left. Yep, sure enough, that 9 is bigger than the insert value, so it has to slide up. So we'll delete that 3 and slide the 9 up. Then the insert position says, well, let's move down 1. Maybe I belong here. And it looks to the left and says, oh, that value is bigger than the value I'm trying to insert, so it's going to have to slide up. And then I move my insert position down 1 and say, maybe I belong here. I look to the left, and that value is less than the value I'm trying to insert. So then I take this value and I insert it into the array. Right? So we did the 9 slid up, the 6 slid up, and then I say, oh, now I belong here. So now I know that this is all sorted. I have one last thing in my unsorted part of the array to insert. So again, we save that value in my variable, right? I check to the left and I say, oh, this 9 is bigger, so it's going to replace that value. And then I say, well, maybe the insert position is here. I look to the left and say, oh, no, that's bigger than my insert value, so it has to slide up. Insert position decreases. Do I belong here? So I look to the left. Yep, that's smaller than I am. So the 5 gets inserted into here. And now the entire array is sorted and I'm done. Okay, so really important here, this idea of this insert position. We slide values up, right? We kind of scan to the left. And as we scan to the left, we say, oh, are you smaller than I am? Are you smaller than I am? Are you smaller than I am? Is there nothing to look at? And that helps us figure out where we need to insert that value. So it can be multiple slides and then in one insert. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Yeah, use these variables to keep track of things, slides and insertions. That's the insertion sort. Okay, take care and see you in the next video.